my face. That's what's about it.
You gotta get up close and personal. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that's what it is. Come closer, mi amor.
Well, hola,
Do I look cute?
bienvenida. I have
Do
some
I look
music.
cute today? Do I look cute?
Oh, you look excelente. Ay, Dios mío. Un aplauso, un aplauso. Give this young lady some. Oh my God. All right, there you have it, guys. You win already. You win. Well, welcome to Be My Guest with Quarantino. You know, I've explained that every show, so I don't have to do it anymore. But I'm so honored to have you on here, man. I really love you. You're a great performer. I mean, I miss seeing your sets. I miss seeing your sets because they were like, it was like home sets. Like,
I know. We gotta get back to that. You know what? I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better with showing up, cause you know, I never tell jokes. I never tell. Those are like actual stories from my ridiculous life. When you're a Gemini like me, just silly shit follows you and happens all day long. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no!
So I just get up on stage and talk about my ridiculous life, and people seem to think it's funny. But I've never told a joke in my life.
Oh, man. Well, continue doing what you're doing, because these stories are hilarious. And they're memorable. They're memorable. I remember one time you did a set that had me hungry, horny. You know, I had a whole bunch of emotions in me that I'm like,
oh, you talking about the Henny Spaghetti?
The Henny Spaghetti, yes.
The Henny Spaghetti.
I've never been the same.
Well, I feel so sleepy. Boom.
Yeah. But welcome. How you been? How you been? It's been so long, and I know you're gonna do better. But how you been? As far as like,
you know what? I'm doing great, and you know what? I think a lot of young people are really, really upset about not being able to go outside and do this, that, and the third. And I get it. You know, when I was 20-something, but you know, when you get old shit, I'm like, I just enjoy walking around naked, cooking naked, just watching TV naked, just doing everything naked, shower naked, of course. You know, just doing everything naked, not giving a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So, is this a clean show? I'm sorry.
Well, not anymore, but hey, I like it. Don't worry about it.
Listen, I'm tired. People get on my goddamn nerves. You know, I work outside, Tino, for 23 years, outside. So, to be able to enjoy my house inside, you know, I live on 3 levels. Oh. I got a club in the basement, full stage, big old backyard. I'll never have to go out back outside.
Wow.
Only thing I don't like is I can't order no dick. I'm not ordering no death dick. I can't, you know. You can't be ordering no Corona pee-pee. That's it. Every now and then I get in the mood. You know, I know I'm married, but shit. This guy asked me today, was I married? I said, it depends on who's asking.
Yeah, pretty much.
Depending on who asked me, how fine you are. You know, let me see some stats. You had all your shots? What's happening?
Give me a reason to talk to my husband, right? Give me a reason.
You know what I did the other day? When I tell you, this is some dirty old woman shit. You should have never told me you like my stories. So this little tall, fine-ass little young tenderoni was in the store, in the discount store, the same time as me, and we was both buying candles, but he was buying them long candles, right? Uh-huh. So he had like about 12 of them in his basket. So me, being ever flirty, I was like, damn, baby, what you doing? Voodoo? He said, no, miss, my friend just died. Ooh. That's what I get for flirting, right? That's what I get for flirting, just being a dirty old woman. I was old enough to be that boy's mama twice. I ain't had no business messing with him. That's what I get for not minding my business. Open mouth, insert foot.
Hey, but listen, see? And the saying also goes, closed mouth don't get fed. So you gotta.
Right. Baby, as good as he was looking, I would have opened my mouth right away.
Woo. Okay. If he only knew. You light his candle up, right?
Yeah, I show him what to do with that wax. Wepa!
Hey! You gotta go for it. I
I'm a
commend
Gemini.
you.
I got an imagination. Shit. I
Yeah,
can't help
Has the
it.
guy? Well, it has gotten you in trouble. I take it for this is just like the latest
Yeah,
example, right?
he was nice about it, but
Oh yeah,
he
damn.
wasn't extra friendly after that.
No, oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. He killed your
He's like
mood.
he kept calling me ma'am. That's how I knew I wasn't gonna get no corona dick.
Ah.
He was like, "This okay, ma'am. I know you didn't mean no harm, ma'am." I was like, "Oh, I ain't getting no corona dick out of this one. Let me just mind my business, buy my candles. Let me get me some candles for the death of being able to order dick when you need it."
I think you
I'm
probably
in mourning.
dick morning, right?
I'm in mourning.
All right. Speaking of dick, how's the husband? The
Oh,
weirdest
he's
segue
fine.
I ever had.
He's fine. He's just doing just fine over there in Blafrica. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah, he's still in Africa. That's why I still can
Mm.
move around a little bit. Immigration is a long process. It's like the longest bachelorette party ever.
Wow.
It's been so long and shit. If you do sleep with the stripper, it's like, all right, I understand.
You have to get some dick, there's going to be time when you have to.
Look, my friend asked me the other day, "Where you gonna marry that little young man?" I said, "Listen, fuck all this love and all this shit. I need somebody to do the yard work."
No, you call it.
I just needed somebody to do the yard work. I need all that. He got way more dick than I need. He gonna get one leg up just like the last motherfucker. I don't care. Look, I'm gonna come down, check his chores. You finish all your chores? All right, now you can go outside. I don't care. I don't care about all that.
Oh,
I'm too old. I've seen too much.
yeah. Well, that's very nurturing in a way. You know, nocturnal. No, what am I saying? I don't know. You told me off.
Nocturnal in the nighttime?
Yeah.
What's it got to do with the nighttime? Oh, because we're talking about dick. Is it the nighttime? It gotta be nighttime.
Oh my God! All right, the wheels are coming off here. The wheels are coming off.
We ain't talking about none of the subjects you said we was gonna talk about. We're still stuck on Corona dick and candle.
It's still very now, and I'm all about what's happening now, and yeah, I appreciate that story.
If you share this to my page, I have to put that little, share to everybody except my sister-in-law husband.
Don't worry. The editing gods will help us out here. You know what I mean? Don't just say what you gotta say. I always tell people, make yourself at home. You know what I mean? Just
I am home, nigga. We just talked about that.
Oh.
I'm on the top floor of my home.
Oh, yeah, that is awesome that you have a beautiful house like that. You put shows together there too, and you just have
yes. Have you ever seen the pictures from the shows?
I have. It's just.
I invite you to everything. You never show up.
I know. I think I'm always like, you always do it on a day with something going on. Like, damn. And I always think like, I'm gonna go after it, but after you travel someplace, you're like, damn, where's that again? Those comedy miles, those comedy miles on the body, you know what I mean?
Right. Shit.
Especially if you do anything like in the Bronx.
I've been doing comedy 32 years. I am the long-standing diva of 32 years.
Oh wow!
I've been on TV. They used to call me Diva on TV.
Oh
yeah.
Shit.
So I've heard somebody else is using it now. I'm like, I retired that name a lot. You get you don't give a shit. My name is my name, goddamn it. What makes me motherfuckers get the check wrong? I tell people all the time, if HBO ain't called us in all this time, shit. Yeah. People Now, I'm gonna tell you why they called me diva. They said this bitch only the laziest comedian in the world. This bitch built a comedy club in her house, so she don't have to need a house. And that's crazy shit. I could do that.
No.
Full comedy show. You know, I had Kenny Williams in the backyard.
Oh.
At first, he was trying not to answer my calls. I said, "Fuck, you don't know what backyard I'm trying to hire you for. I don't give a fuck about you being at Caroline's. You better answer my phone when I call. It's diva, goddammit. 32 years. 32 years of comedy.
Kudos to you.
No
Kudos
comedy. I just
to
be
you.
talking shit.
Yeah. And it's so much. It still works for you because it just feels like your attitude towards life is just all in there. You can see it. There's no faking that. You know what I mean? That's why I love to see it. I love to get to that point where I'm just kind of like telling that story and not afraid to say it like it is. You know what I mean? Like that's
You afraid to tell stories about your life?
Not as much now, but I became, like I like, joke, set up, joke, the joke set up, punchline, joke, set up, and then, I feel like I was becoming robotic. You know what I mean? So to see people who are loose up there and just like, you hope that rubs off on you because that's how you want to speak and what's the word I'm looking for? And just express yourself, like tell yourself that way. You know what I mean? Like, because it's less effort.
Backfired on me before, because sometimes audience and people, comedians will say that this doesn't happen, but sometimes the audience will just not like you. And I've had that happen before, and bombs flat on my face. And like, you see how me and you is so easy talk. I try to talk to them like that, and they just like stare at me.
Really?
Like, what the fuck?
What is their problem?
Yeah, they just they just look at me like,
Yeah. No, man.
You have to recover from that. Usually I can get them back, but if you talk about something they don't like, you lose them, and the story tell you like, okay, next story.
Yeah. Dig yourself that hole, and then you gotta like, God damn it, gotta get out of it, and then
It doesn't happen often, but you know what? I noticed the more comfortable I'm on stage, the more they relate to that. So you really have to. You really have to get into, like, I'm talking to friends and family. I'm just shooting the shit. Yeah. If you let them get all in your head, then, I notice my comedy suffers when I'm worried about something. Oh, do I look too fine in this dress? Or, did I put enough carefree curl juice in my hair? What?
Oh, my God.
If I overthink it,
Yeah. All those womanly problems, right? And comedy. And so it's like, you guys, I don't envy you guys. You guys have a lot more going on before you take to the stage. So kudos to female comedians.
What has started affecting me in my later years of comedy is remembering, where what stories am I going to tell? Because even though I'm not telling jokes, you still got to remember the story. Every time you tell a story, the story is not going to be the same. Sometimes you forget elements. You're like, oh shit, I forgot to tell them about, the most important part of the story, But when you get on stage, no matter how comfortable you feel, you can still forget things, So I still have to write the stories out sometimes because, I'm getting to that age, where it's like,
you preaching to the choir. You know what I mean? I definitely I'm on that boat where I kind of, have you seen my household? There's papers everywhere. There's like all over the walls. I don't know if you've seen that, but this is how I'm about that. I'm about that 5-0 life, we're like, I'll just put it around so like it'll be second nature to, it's all over. I got paper all over.
It's a nice apartment. Is it a basement apartment?
Yeah, I got the basement. I got that. Well, I didn't hit the jackpot like you, lady. You have 3 floors.
It's nice though. At least it's redone. It's finished.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is why I did the quarantine. Nice. This is why I did the quarantine. I survived it here. This is where I was putting. It looks lofty.
It looks like a little loft type situation.
Oh yeah. It's very comfy, very comfy. I got everything I need. You know what I mean? I try to.
You got windows?
Huh? Yeah. I got 1 window. I got one window, so.
Is it big enough for you to get your ass out if it's a fire?
I haven't tried it, to tell you the truth, but it looks, I can get outside. Hey.
That's all that matters. You just gotta have one window that you can get your ass out of in case of a fire.
Definitely.
You got a door? A door to get out?
Yeah. Everything's covered. I'm going on a year, so we made it. We made it, and to have made it the last 4. How did you hold down the last 4 months? You know, quarantined and everything. Well, like you said, you have 3, 4, so you good. You don't want. You know what happened, because I usually speak to comedians who like, God damn it, man, my roommate, yo, we're going crazy. Well, you like, I just go to the other floor.
Now you can tell who, you know, here's the thing I'm noticing. You know, a lot of our comedian friends that just used to post flyers and shit, they didn't do a lot of talking on Facebook. Mm-hmm. But now that everybody's at home, mm-hmm. These motherfuckers are talking a little bit too much. You're like, yo, some of these motherfuckers are kind of, you need some help. I'm not making fun of getting help, but you know, I'm just saying that a lot of cats that we thought were mildly crazy, that they were just a little eccentric. You're like, yo, your shit for real. You need to be getting a check for that motherfucker. I get a check for my motherfucking crazy. You know, some of them posts, I be like, you need to be getting paid for that. You know, waste not, what not. You know, just in case the comedy thing don't work out, you need a check, motherfucker. Cause listen. You need some SSD. You got SSD type tendencies, motherfucker. You need to get some help.
You need some SSD for your PTSD.
Yeah, you need some help, you know, but yeah, you can tell, you can pretty much tell people that don't have good coping skills. Mm-hmm. You know, yes, our lives have changed. It may be, and you know, this may be just the first year of this. You know, it may happen again next year, or we still may not have a vaccine, a workable vaccine for 2 years, you know. So a lot of people are not accepting that their life has changed. And you can really tell the difference in people that have adaptability and folks that don't. You know, you can still interact with your friends. You just have to do it safely from a distance. You know, like for my birthday, I had exactly 10 people over. We had the Perel. You know, I cooked and people had their masks on if we were in the house. And if you were outside, because I have a big backyard, if we were outside, if you were socially distanced, you can eat and take your mask off and you can shoot the shit. And we drank, and, you know, on the weekends, sometimes I have my neighbors, 4 of us, mask on in the house, but, you know, like in the purple room, because I have a big basement like that, you can take your mask off and sing. And we do drunk karaoke. So there's ways that you can enjoy yourself. Nobody, you know, these motherfuckers that's all marching and protesting about, you know, the mask and shit. I'm like, oh, somebody told you what to do. You know, somebody wrote something interesting. They said, you know, these people are not fighting to go back to work. They're fighting for you to have to go back to work because they're inconvenienced. They want you to go back to your low-grade job so you can serve them. You know, a lot of people, you know, some people they want to get back to work because they don't have a comfortable home situation. And I get it. I you know, I'm fortunate, I'm blessed, and I have a comfortable home situation. But if you're living in a situation where you're not, you know, where you're living with a person you're not getting along with, or things have become abusive, then it's time for you to assess. This is the time that you need to assess what's going on in your life and fix that. Or start making steps and say, hey, maybe this shit ain't working out and I don't want to put my motherfucking hands on you, so you might want to start looking for an apartment, bitch.
There you go. You pointed problem and advice and solution. That's it.
What's this little thumb up that keeps coming up?
That's what I agree with, you know, whatever it is that you're saying. That was like, that's a nugget. That's the nugget right there. When I hear nugget,
yeah,
so,
I mean, There's still things that you can do outside. Who said? Nobody said you couldn't go to the beach. Nobody said you couldn't go to the park. Nobody said you couldn't barbecue. They just say you have to be safe about it. So I don't understand what people are so upset about. Now, my timeline, you know, as well as yours, is full of artists, full of I know I have famous actor friends. I have famous comedian friends. I have famous
Name a few.
singers. And
Name a few. Name a few. Plug your people. Plug your people.
oh, well, I put his picture up the other day.
Uh-huh.
Keith David, my old boo thing. His birthday was the other day. He's, you know, people are home. They're out of work. You know, famous jazz musicians in my timeline: Ronnie Barrage, Kathy Farmer. We know Muga Phoenix, and you know, and Tanya, not famous, but you know, these women are really really doing their thing with acting, and you know, so to see them, you know, to be on fire with it and really really making it in the business, you know, I feel like that's a win for all of us that are friends. And a Carrie Cadet, another very talented comedian. You know, these guys are really out there doing it, and you know, have enviable careers that are now stationary. So I get, like, you know, why they would be, you know, kind of upset or whatever. But creatives, if you're a creative, you adapt and you create in different ways. You know, like look at the unfortunate thing that happened with DL Hughley the other day, you know, passing out on stage. When you see the footage of it, you look around the audience and nobody has a mask on. It's not time yet. It's not that serious, you know. And the advice that I would give to a lot of younger comedians or whatever, or less experienced comedians than me, is to take this. Don't rush it. Take this time to self-reflect. Write jokes, pair way the, you know, to the meat of existing jokes, tag your jokes, take a creative writing course online, or write that script, that comedy script that you've been threatening to do. You know, you readjust so you can come back and you know, you be on fire when you come back. You know, like a lot of the stupid shit that I've been thinking of and sitting up scrabbling on cue cards. I can't wait to get that shit on thing. You know what I'm saying? But you know, if you don't have a chance to sit down and focus, you don't have a chance to do the work. So now is the time to sit down and tune yourself in and put in, you know, do some work. Some of these cats, and it's a lot of veteran comedians too. I had left comedy for 9 years. When you met me, I was just coming back. I had left comedy for 9 years.
Wow.
I come back on the scene, and a lot of the veteran comedians that I came up with are still doing the same fucking jokes. And I'm like, seriously? You ain't wrote, I mean, they have variations on it and they have other jokes, but I'm like, you still, you know, I get it. You know, Tino, you've never seen me perform the same thing twice.
No.
You know, when I work out, I'm actually there to work out new material, which it should be not just to, you know, get the last. Some comedians are just laugh junkies, so they go with what they already know it works. Well, if you know, your signature joke might be laying around on a cue card somewhere, because you never let it run. You know. Some of the things, you know, like some of the shit that I used to say to y'all, I had on cue cards for a while, you know. So, but if you don't have, it's like the gym, and it's like a muscle. If you don't use it, you know, you lose it. So yeah, this would be a time for comedians to go through those notebooks, call some of those old jokes, rework them. And this is what I tell comedians all the time: if you don't write a joke down, eventually you'll lose it. Because if you start doing other material, then somebody will hit you up and they'll be like, "Oh, what about like you reminded me about the spaghetti joke."
Yeah.
if I don't use that for a while and I go into other things and it's not written down somewhere, then you lose it. You lose the joke. So yeah, this is the time to be writing.
Excellent. Wow. Thank you. thank you for sharing that, and that was like a quadruple nugget for the folks. You know what I mean? That's the 32 years telling you how it is. Thank you for not naming names, by the way. It's just like we have enough problems in the world, so thank you for not naming names.
You gave me an idea. I might bring Keith onto Facebook Live or something like that and interview him
Yeah.
but also my friend Kevin Mambo, he played in Luke Cage, the Jamaican dude in Luke Cage.
Nice.
Not the dark skin one, the light skin one. Two Jamaicans running around. Yeah, so but he's in the movie. He's in the movies all the time too. So he's grounded. It's a lot of my comedian singers, everybody that was on the road and stuff like that, and all their shows canceled. I mean, I've told comedians a long time ago, listen, you can't, until you make it, you can't depend on, comedy just to feed you, because anything can happen. And this is a very, very good example of it. I don't give a fuck. I get paid for my crazy, plus I get my picture, so I'm good.
Congrats to you. And listen,
that's why you're seeing me on a comedy as much, but I don't give a fuck about this shit. I got this shit. I can do this shit in my house.
you bring the fun to you.
That's right. And but and another thing is, you have to have, if you find yourself getting depressed, I read a long time ago, and this helped me, and I hope if you pass it on, that'll help somebody else. And it's motivation is the enemy of depression. You have to give. There have been times where it's been a little touchy here for me or whatever, and I start to give myself daily tasks, because you could get wrapped up in the mundane, or you could get. And it's not even the quarantine that affects me, or being alone or anything like that. It's a lot of external forces, like I had to step away from so much Facebook seriousness, so like now you see I'll post a lot of jokes and a lot of silliness, and just elected myself the morale officer. But you have to remember to laugh at least once a day, because it's a lot being thrown at us at once. It's a lot being thrown at us. It's like, God damn, it's like a quarantine and a pandemic and a race war and a crazy ass president. And it's a lot. It's a lot of shit being thrown at us at one time. But you have to say, I know what this is, recognize it, and call that demon out for what it is. And you have to recalibrate yourself. And that's coping skills.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that was so on point. I can't add to it. I cannot add to it. And guys, develop coping skills, because this shit was driving you nuts. It definitely will. Everything you pointed out. So, but
you gotta give yourself tasks every day.
Yeah. But speaking of, I know you did many tasks today because I was on the phone with you. And you've been rubbing this. Yeah, and you've been rubbing it. The audience have noticed a serious rubber double session over there. So now, can we address how was going and doing the vote thing? How was it?
It actually was super. It was super easy. I had a little trouble. I tried to, be as informed as I could, because so you're voting for the municipalities and all this other stuff. So it could get lengthy. All these people, and you shouldn't be uninformed voting. But if you're gonna uninformed vote, at least vote Democrat. Make sure that Democrats get these motherfuckers out of here. I mean, I will say, the ones that I didn't know, if they had a black sounding name, I'll just put it in the circle. That's it.
Black names matter.
Black names matter. I was like, what are all these motherfuckers? But that was like, you could pick 12. I was like, I only know 4 of them, but okay.
You looking for Malika? You looking for Jamal? You looking for
right? Letitia. Oh, okay, I know this. Why not? All right. Anybody with a Spanish name like Cruz and Emilio and all that shit, they got my vote. Fuck it. You know, just, don't let us down. You know, look, I had to take educated guess on some of us. Don't let us down. I was in there like Easter Bay. I'm voting for everybody black. No, I actually did take some time over the last couple of weeks to try to educate myself. The ones that I knew, I really knew. The other ones, I just fudged it. So
that was like when you did
and
the
of
test.
course, I put my little, primary vote in for Biden. He's the nominee elect anyway, but they still had all the other guys on there.
Right. Oh wow.
All the other guys are still on the ballot. The Kubitcher or whatever the fuck her name is, and all the So at this point, I'm just hoping Biden picks an awake running mate.
Yeah.
I really.
You think Kamala?
Honestly, I wasn't crazy about Kamala as president because of her record, but as I got more into her or whatever, and started following her on Twitter and started following a lot of her the bills she supported and stuff like, and started educating myself more on her beyond just the news stories. I started to like her a little more, but one thing I cannot take away from her is she does know she knows her shit. She knows her shit, and she's not she's not a pushover. So I do like that about her. I would be very comfortable with her as a running mate for Biden. I think it would be a shoe-in because I think even black folks that was on the fence would show up and show out. And women would show up and show out, and I think it would definitely even. I don't know with the way the country is. I think, all women want to see a woman in the White House. We may get the white female vote for her. I don't know. My girl was, and this is a candidate that I've liked for a long time. I really just love her, period, and for years now. If you ever get a chance, listen to or watching Elizabeth Warren, her YouTube videos.
Oh yeah.
Elizabeth.
She brings
Elizabeth was an advisor to Obama, and
really?
he said he said anything he wants to know, he always went to her, and he just loved her, and if you listen to what she said in her passion, she's very impassioned, and I guess that turned our misogynistic society off, but Elizabeth Warren is a bad girl. She's a bad girl. She knows her shit forward and back, and she's a ball buster. It just ain't no other way to put it. And she woke as fuck. Wow. She talks about redlining. She talks about from way back the shit that has affected African Americans. So I know this sounds weird to say this as a black woman, but I don't vote for colors. I vote for, I was just joking around before, but we just playing or whatever. I try to make informed decisions, and I think the absolute best choice he would have, if she would have him, would be Elizabeth Warren, because Joe, his elevator still goes to the top, but sometimes it gets stuck in between the floors. He has his lucid moments, and I was really, really, really upset to see him decline like that so rapidly, because I fell in love with old Joe when he debated Mitt Romney and tore his ass up. So I'm an old Joe fan. Yeah, he got his little white man problems, of shit in the past that white guys will be whiting, but he's a good old boy, but I think he's a fair good old boy, and I think he's grown. A lot of black folks like to bring up, some of the things in his past that he said or supported, but I look at when I look at a person, I look at them as a whole. You have to give people a chance to evolve. You have to give it, I'm not who I was at 20. You know, so you know, I wouldn't want anybody judging me on my 20-year-old self, because baby, Lord.
Wow, this
Yeah.
some of that is for a more mature audience, right?
Right, you
Uh,
have to, you have to give people a chance to evolve, and you definitely have to give them you know, credit if they've evolved for the better. And I think that's the case with Joe Biden. And you know, I really, really, really hope that he picks. I hope he picks Warren, and
oh,
I hope she'll have him,
oh.
because now that he's wavy,
Hmm.
you know, we need somebody when he
That's
has to finally
stability,
concede.
right?
Right. He needs a steady hand, you
Right,
know,
right,
somebody that can take over the wheel
right,
and
right, right.
still be, yeah. But
Yeah. Wow,
I would hope that he picks Warren, Kamala, or Abrams
wow.
in that order
Mm. All
in
right.
choices.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that sounds like a good list. I mean, well, you know, it's time.
Oh
On point.
goddamn, the firecracker show just started.
Oh no, it
I'm
is
like, you
time.
motherfuckers don't even let it get dark.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Let it get dark.
it hasn't been like this for a while. Like the firecrackers taking over like that. I don't remember it like being like this like the last, 2, 3 years, like wow, what's going on? I think
Well,
they let out the
sometimes it will
floodgates.
happen in June, but it's like crazy now. This is how I know that they're being funded, because
Hmm.
fireworks. Now I'm not just talking about fire bombs and firecrackers. They're expensive. You know, the
Hmm.
shit that light up the sky, and these
Hmm.
motherfuckers got like Roman candles and all kind of shit. And I'm like, yo, somebody is. You remember like them bricks just kept mysteriously appearing. You know, yeah. So it's got to be they've got to be being funded.
Well, thank you for sharing that. We're gonna call that conspiracy theory of the of the night.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, we old ladies, we got our conspiracy theories. That's it.
Anyways, this has been a wonderful, wonderful Zoom interview, like I like to call it. Yeah, I just want to outro with youths, letting the folks know your information, your contact information, and anything else you want to like let them know about yourself. That besides, they already can see that you're beautiful, and but
Well,
any.
closing out, I just want to say we gonna be all right. We've survived. This will probably be the worst year, the worst of it that we'll have to survive.
Uh-huh.
Make
Definitely.
sure you get out and vote today. You got till 9 o'clock, and make sure you vote in November so we can so Melania can start packing her Ralph Lauren shit. And don't worry, baby. It's gonna be all right. God got us, and look at what we've accomplished. Look at what we've accomplished. So, you know, the three pronged, the protests, the riots,
Corona.
and the looting.
Hmm?
Got these companies scrambling, and Washington scrambling to make policies that benefit. So it works. You know, we may not agree with all three prongs, but hey, now that they know that we'll burn this motherfucker down the cinder in a matter of days, now y'all want to talk. You know,
Yeah,
so yeah, that's all I want to say is that we can't lose hope, and remember to smile every day.
that's it. Wow. Well, thank you. Where can I get in contact with you though? Like that's all we need. Like where can I get in contact with you?
Anytime, you got my number, right?
No, like the people. Where can I get in contact with you? Sorry about that. I was trying to do music outro.
Janelle Marguerite Jackson on Facebook and on Twitter and God damn it, I'm on Instagram. See, I shouldn't be using
Yeah. Yeah.
JENNELLEMARQUERITE I really should change that. I guess that's just too much,
That's a
right?
mouthful.
That's how you know a bitch don't want to be contacted. Yeah,
Oh, man.
LMNOPZYZ at, and don't forget the ad symbol.
Oh man, no, man. Listen, yeah, that would be smart because it's tough to keep up, man. There's a new app every other day. I'm like, what? I gotta do what now? Oh, damn! I just got on Instagram. I'm just trying to figure it. They're like, no, go to
Yeah,
TikTok, nigga. Go to TikTok, and then go to.
no,
I'm
fuck
like,
all that TikTok. It's too much. It's too much. Put some back. It's too much. Put some back.
yeah, All this can't be good for us. It just can't be.
It's too much. It's too many things.
There's too many
Now they
guys.
got rooms on Facebook. Man, come on.
Have you been to one of these Zoom parties where like there's like, you know, people on the screen or whatever? You gotta socialize and dance. Oh.
No, but I did comedy on Zoom.
Yeah. Oh man, but don't party
It's
on
not
Zoom.
the same if you're not getting any feedback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's even
Just
worse
talking
trying
to
to
dead
socialize.
space.
Yeah. Trying to socialize. You try to talk to somebody like on the side, whatever. It's like everybody hears you get rejected, so it's like bombing for everybody. So
Right.
I was wondering out. I'm like, I already got comedy. I don't need this shit. You know what I mean? So I was out. But speaking of out, thank you for being a beautiful, lovely guest. Thank you for the nuggets. Thank you, and keep doing. I can't wait to see you on stage again. And yeah, keep enjoying your 3-story home. and
I
thank you
love you,
for
Tino.
and thank you for serving too.
Oh,
Salute.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tino. Anytime. You can call me anytime. Ask me anything.
Thank you so much. You have a good night. All right, darling.
All right. Love you.
Love you, love.
Love.
Bye.